We're gonna go ahead and start with taking off the header. There's 5 12mm bolts that hold it on. Once we get it off, along with the oxygen sensor, we can go ahead and put it to the side. Here's my turbo manifold. I was having a hard time getting it on there, so I ended up making these holes bigger so the studs can fit through them. I think I went up to a 3/8 on the step drill, and after that I was able to get it on there. Okay, so now that I got the turbo manifold on, I'm into another problem with the turbo in there, exactly where it's at. Right there, it would hit this part of the fan. So what I'm gonna end up doing is cutting it from right there to right there, move that out of the way so that we can get the turbo in there. All right, now after that's cut, there's a space right here. I use some diagonal cutters. And here's with the turbo inside. Now I have the room from the side as well. Here's the third problem we're coming across. This downpipe is supposed to be a bolt-on to the rest of the exhaust. It's actually coming up short. I'm gonna have to do is extend this exhaust and make it reach there. Okay, so I went ahead and took off the radiator fan and moved it out of the way because that's not gonna work out. It's too bulky. It's just not gonna work with the turbo in there. All right, so I just came into another problem. All these couplers are 2.5 inch diameter, and it all fits on the intercooler, but there's no coupler that's going to fit onto the turbo. So what I ended up doing was getting a 2 inch to 2.5 inch 90-degree coupler, and I already have it here, and I will show you in a few. Here's an example, just taking the coupler, putting it onto the turbo, and it's just way too big. All right, got this from Amazon, 2 to 2.5, and then I also got my 2 fans, slim fans. Okay, so back in the crazy garage. So these bolts actually on the Maxspeedingrod kit are about 1/2 inch longer. This is about like 1/2 inch too long, and it would be sticking. It would only bolt through like this much, but I had to cut it about 1/2 inch. And then I put the gasket and then the washer and the lock washer. All right, here we go. Little, big, little. All right, so back here it is. Let's see if I clock it like that. Depending on how this exhaust is going to go. Pull this up a little bit. I mean, I can see it from where I'm looking. I don't know if you guys can. So I might have to cut this a little bit shorter and have the angle, but I think the angle really works with what I have, unless I'm gonna start doing some pie cuts, and that's just gonna be some math, and I'm trying to do least amount of work that I have to. And then I got this downpipe, and this downpipe was supposed to be a bolt-on because it has a flange at the bottom, and it's supposed to be going straight to the rest of the exhaust, which on this one it's actually tighter because we have this thermostat housing. I got a universal one and it pulls it out a little bit farther, so it's probably gonna touch. But this one is specifically for this car, and it goes down. Okay, so this is what I did. I cut this up. So imagine this still on, right? Like you see that angle. This still on, but onto here. So this actually goes there. And imagine this flange close up here. And even pulling this up, it's not gonna reach and the angle's off. So what I ended up doing while this was still on, I ended up taking this, pushing it up, and you hear how it's hitting the pan. So I backed off just a little bit. I grabbed something straight. In my case, yeah, I use this file, like this nice flat part of it, and I lined it up. I put it in, and I was pushing it to where I know it's leveled with this top part right there on the inside. And then I pushed it up to where it was just, you know, like half an inch off from the pan until until it touched here. So this is where I'm at. This is why I cut it, because this was flat. Imagine pushed up, it touched right here, and that's where I cut it. So I know the angle is gonna start going from here to there. Let's back off and take a look how it looks like. So yeah, it's like a 45-degree angle, right? And the way this is like that, this one kind of looks like it already has a 45. So what I ended up doing is flipping it and then putting it right here. The angle's like somewhat there. And then all I need to do is just to add a pipe in between here. So imagine, let's see, the angle is right there, right?
This is going to be angled down to the rest of the exhaust. And I just need to do an extension from here to there. So I marked it. This one's 3, 1, 2. I measured 1, 2, and 3. The distance from each point to the flange. And then I'm going to cut that into here, cut that much, however much it is, and then attach the flange to it, and then we'll see if that works. All right, there's point 1, which came out to right here, which is like, I think, 1 inch and 3/8 or something like that. And spot number 3 was 1 inch and 15/16. And then spot number 1, right, where's 1? There's 3, 1, and then 2, which was like 1 5/8 or something like that. Bear with. All right, so here's where we're at. There's some gaps in here, but that one's a major one. But I think if we puddle it, I think we'll be able to make it work. Now, time to test and see if it'll line up with the flange that's on there. Hope it works. I'm starting to get the hang of it again with how bad the cut was, and you know, where it was like this part was sticking out just a little bit. I was able to bridge it and cover it up. Imagine like this looking like kind of like that sticking out. Honestly, I don't care. I'm gonna go ahead and keep going through with it. If it seals it, I'll probably test it, cover this up, put the smoke machine, if I can find it, on this side and see if any smoke comes through. If not, then we're sealed and we're good into it. But this is that one extra piece that's like just short of 2.5. So I think I'm gonna just start with this right here, and then I'll build off of that puddle and keep dragging it. All right, and here we are. This is my piece of shit downpipe. What I'll do is I'm gonna grind this down to look like kind of like that, but a little bit better all around. And I will most likely exhaust wrap it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it back down and then meet it up with the flange, and then I'm gonna mark the flange to this, and it'll look like shit, but I'll get better at my welding. I'm gonna have to weld this, and then I'm gonna have to weld the what's it called, the wastegate to this. So that's some more welding, but that's gonna be the last of the welding. Okay, so here we are. It's lining up. I think I already put a mark. I think it's like right there. Black marker, and another one down there, but I think that one got taken off. But it looks like it will work. I think it'll work too with the exhaust. I don't want it hanging lower than the pan, but it looks like it's gonna have to hang maybe just a little bit lower. So I just gotta take off this flange and then weld it up. And I'm hoping to get better on that last one, but yeah. And here's how it looks like if you take a step back. Looks pretty good, just have to weld it the rest of the way.